Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, how dare you? Then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by the Adam Meakin, who's it with the screen share? I can't see who that is. Oh, Righteous Force. Paul, Quantum Eraser, Chocolate Sane, Arwin and 10th Man in G+, and we're also joined by a whole bunch of people in Discord, so welcome one and all.
Hello, hello.
Good morning.
All right, we might as well deal with this picture. You got this up on screen?
I can have it, yeah. So just for the audience who've just joined us live's benefit, this was being discussed in the pre-show. This is a still provided by Zanuck. I don't know if it's stopped working, Righteous, but I can't seem to get it up on screen anymore. There we go.
Is it up on screen? Is the diagram up on screen?
It is now. If you just goes back to it, I've just got like all of your different screen share stuff. There we go. Perfect. If you can make that big. Here we go.
Okay, people. This is a screaming testimony of abject moron. A third grader would laugh at this. Let's take a look at the upper part of the diagram. He's saying that this line, this swerving line right here is level. Is this level, people?
No.
No, it's not level. Duh. This is so moron. This is, like I said, it's a screaming testimony of the intellect that we're dealing with here, people. If you're new to Flat Earth, this is the quintessential example of complete moron right here. So we've taken a look at the top part of the diagram. Let's take a look at the bottom. He's saying that this line is flat but not level. No. You see, the surface of that line is smooth. That line is not level. What's the definition of level? Anyone?
Well, it always has something to do with the horizon. The etymology of it is that typically it has to be horizontal to the level to the horizon.
No point on that line should be higher than the other. That's what flat and level means. Let's take a look at the bottom part of the diagram. Is there a point, any points on this line that is higher or lower than any other point? You, sir, are an ICD-10 full-on F-72 code. You need to go find out what that means. And somebody needs to call a 1-800 number, ASAP, to come drag you away. These people are abject Dunning-Kruger morons. Thanks.
Yeah, when I looked up the etymology of level, it always had an association with the horizon, horizontal. So that's whenever I look it up, that's what it came up to. So ancient, old definitions of it.
Having no point higher than another. That is level or flat. Flat and level are synonymous. Level equals flat, flat equals level. Okay? My word. Why would I even have to explain this?
Oh, I can answer that. Because we have fundamentalist religious zealots who believe they live on a spinning ball flying through a sky vacuum. and the Earth that presents itself to us is flat or level, and they need their reification of their sphere model to be superimposed onto a flat and level Earth that we actually experience. Therefore, to reify their curved globe model, which they claim is in a vacuum in their reified version of our world, they need to make flat surfaces bend. They don't. That's a problem. Hope that answers your question.
Did anyone check to see if that mouth-breathing knuckle dragger posted this on his high school physics forums yet?
Nope.
Can somebody go on those high school physics forums and post this in lieu of? Just say, this is from Zanuck and post it in there. Let's get the responses.
I actually like that idea.
I'd be willing to do that.
Yeah, let's see what the middle school physics forum posters make of Zanuck's assertion that a curvy line... He did assert it was flat. I can't see it anymore, goddamn. Stupid Hangouts isn't sharing if I move away. I don't know what he did last time to
No,
get it back.
it was level but not flat, the top one.
Level but not flat.
Yeah.
Level? What, a
Wibbly
curvy line?
wobbly level.
Curvy line, right.
Yes, the curvy lines are level.
And they're saying the plane. They're saying planes fly level over a curve. So, you know, that would be parallel, wouldn't it? Not level, right?
Parallel? No, that's two lines running alongside one another.
I asked him in the dictionary, in one of the versions of level had like an aeronautics saying an aeroplane flies on a level flight path, and that's curved. So according to Zanuck, that level flight
they're
path.
trying to equate level with parallel.
That's what I hear. They're trying to equate level with parallel.
Right.
Yeah, but as QE has mentioned, 1 hour flight at 500 miles per hour, the pilot would have to nose down over 2,700 feet per minute, and that never happens.
Yeah, but
Hey, don't worry about the nose down part. That has nothing to do with it. It has to descend 2,777 feet per minute at 500 miles per hour. No matter what it does. It can barrel roll. It can do-si-do. It's got to do something to descend that amount if you live on a spinning ball space monkey religion.
QE, didn't you know there's these plumb bobs inside aircraft that keep it level over a curved surface? There's this plumb bob thing. I heard them talk about that yesterday too. Plumb bobs and Lite.
That's fine. What color were the trains?
What the hell? Plumb bobs? You having me on? You saying that the
No,
pilots...
they talked about a plumb bob keeping the plane flying level.
So what you're telling me is they're using furry dice in the cockpit?
Wow.
Loaded on one side.
Natural phenomena.
I know they were trying to equate the Schuler tuning inside the gyroscope. I knew that's what they were trying to equate it to, but I get the principle's the same because the rocking of that Schuler tuning keeps the plane, readjust the gyroscope. So it's still a plumb bob. The idea is a plumb bob.
So what's the point? The point is, while any crayon munchers on the plane, right? Here comes the punchline. You ready? You'd feel it. My word.
But QE is so gradual. It's so slight. It just does it so slowly. You won't notice it. Come on now, QE.
Apparently, these guys do a lot of moving and not feeling it. I don't know. Maybe their equilibriums are out of whack or something. I don't know. A little weird.
They're looking more stupid and stupider each day, defending something that isn't real.
They say some silly stuff when faced with a horizontal level.
Hey, Bev, how many times did Zanuck change the definition while we were in that discussion yesterday? Did he change it like 3 or 4 times, and you kept trying to hold his feet to
I
the
think
fire on it? That was
they've
pretty
wrote
funny.
new descriptions for us, haven't they, on the fly?
Well,
What
yeah.
was he saying? Level is perpendicular to perpendicular to down. I think that's Zanuck's definition of level.
Sorry, is that like
No,
a
that's-
new dictionary? We've got like
Yeah.
Oxford Dictionary and Zanuck Dictionary, right?
Yeah, semantics. They don't matter apart from the ones that they make up themselves.
Well, I was going
Them
to say
semantics.
it's only
are okay.
semantics if you're arguing about the actual definition of things rather than making them up. That's not semantics. That's just making shit up.
Yeah, what I was going to get to about the Mississippi, because it was the level and curved and all that stuff, and I had them tell me how much curvature basically the Mississippi has to traverse to empty out into the Gulf. So basically, if I'm standing at the Gulf looking up the Mississippi River, technically under their model, the river is flowing up the curvature towards me and emptying out into the Gulf of Mexico. And I go, don't you see any problems with that? And then, of course, he got into forces, vectors, the flow. And I'm like, really? Are you telling you're making this? You have to account for all this movement of this water towards me up over the curve. You have to come in with all these equations, all these forces, all this stuff to account for it. But if it was on a flat surface, it would just be flowing downhill towards me. I was like, pretty crazy.
Well, they lost that argument with the Nile, which starts below the equator and flows upward.
So they are in denial, are
But
they?
no, we're not going to go on the street. We got to go down this way, Lily. We're not going to go on the street.
Sorry, go ahead. Say it again.
So they're in denial?
I just said that.
Wow.
No, that's mine.
I think you'll find that's 10 bands.
One of the same things true if you're standing at where the Nile empties out into the Mediterranean and you're facing where it's coming from. It has to roll up over, right, and empty out into the Mediterranean.
The Suez Canal goes from one sea to another, about 120 miles, no locks.
Yeah.
How'd you work
Flat as a pancake.
Does it flow or is it just still? Does the water still or does it flow?
Yeah, it's water level, isn't it? It's a canal. Water doesn't flow uphill. It'd have to do that on a ball.
Come on, well, we got these forces, the weight of the water.
I'm sitting here, my brain.
Go ahead, talk over you. Sorry.
Are we going to allow this then? Are we going to allow this argument that doesn't work? If there's a baller here to challenge what you've said, Bev, what do you think they'd say?
I've said come on, come all ballers, come on, bring it on.
Well,
I'm ready for it. I've been doing this for 3 months.
I'll stick my baller.
There's nothing. They've got nothing.
We'll see. I'll stick my baller hat on. Down
Go on.
is only relative from your position. So wherever the reference point you're starting from, that's the top of the ball. How can you argue that things are going up when everything?
You're saying that your horizontal is a tangent.
Just let him finish.
That's okay. Go on.
Well, that's what you do. Are you saying your horizontal is a tangent from the ball that you're stood on?
I'm at the top of it on my ball that I've reified. Yeah.
So right. So are you when you move position to the left or the right? Would that tangent move with you, or would you move on that tangent?
No, I start a new tangent at my new position. Okay. Of course.
Right. So your tangent then would be effectively a curve. You would be talking about the circumference.
You've got it.
Not a tangent.
No, you're getting it. We live on a ball. You're getting it. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. See, I've done this before.
Well, so
hey,
far
Adam's
I've won.
back.
I've won.
There's a ball.
I've just put you on a
means
ball.
R.
I've just won as
Don't
devil's
forget that
advocate.
vector.
Hold on.
No,
I've just-
you've just curved your horizontal around a ball.
Yeah, that's what it does.
No, it's not. Horizontal is a flat
Oh,
straight
and
line.
it's quite fun being a
Because
baller.
reasons.
I've never done this before. This is great. I now and
I mapped
thank you.
it. Come on, I
gonna-
mapped it.
I love this. This is so much fun. I see
You've
why
just
you
got to
all
put
do
that
it
ball
now.
there, haven't you?
Being a baller's ace. So much fun.
You just get to spew crap.
I could just
It
talk
works.
total shite. Yeah, as I move my position and create a new tangent, yeah, you've got a curve. What's your problem?
Yeah, your horizontal curves. I mean, like, if you're willing to go along with that, you know, graphs, they have an X and a Y axis. Yeah?
Yeah.
That X axis, what does that do?
But from my position, we've already gone through this.
on the tangent that you're never actually on.
No, I am on it. Right now, I'm at the top of the ball. I can create a tangent. What's the problem?
Yeah, you just carry the tangent with you.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Well, this was my point, right? Was that if that ball was there must be a way of going like a mile one way and a mile the other way with a level, right? 2 levels, let's say, or maybe even 3 might be better, because you could put 2 and do a line. And like, because you'd have to have intersecting horizontals, don't you? On that model that you're on, that ball.
You don't
has
understand the model.
intersecting horizontal.
Can't be at 2 places at once. I can't be at the top of the ball here and the top of the ball over there. And like I say, when
No,
I
but
move over
somebody
there,
else would be with the level, wouldn't he?
no, I am
the
referencing
tool
my
level.
point. Yeah, and when we do that, if he takes his reference and creates a tangent, and I take my tangent, well, then we've got a curve, haven't we? We already covered this. Great, we're on a ball.
Are we done with this?
How
Not
would
yet.
a
Done with
surveyor do his
Hold on.
job with the horizontal intersecting horizontal?
Kiwi's asking if we're done with this, right? As far as I can tell, with my baller hat on, I've won, right? So far, we've got a curving tangent from 2 different positions. What's the issue? I've won, right? We're on a ball based on what I've said. That's the end of the argument. Who's going to address this?
You haven't brought up vector yet. Come on, you got to bring vector in here somewhere.
What's your
Victor,
vector,
Victor. We have Clarence. Clarence. Roger. Hey, Adam's back.
Afternoon. Sorry about that, guys.
Hey, no problem. Arwen, you around?
Nobody's
Yeah.
addressing me. Am I going to be left? This isn't so much fun anymore. I've won the argument as a baller. Nobody's going to address me.
Baller.
I don't believe
You're
this.
a freaking baller.
I've won and I can't believe it. I'm winning and nobody's addressing it. You're just going to let me win as the baller?
I was trying to ask you, how did you figure out, how did you prove
How do you think you won?
Well, you won for me. You said that it had to curve.
I didn't say it had to
Yeah, you
curve.
did. You create a
The horizontal's a straight line.
No.
Stop straw manning us, Nathan. I'm gonna have
I
to
create a
kick you.
tangent from my point, and then I take a tangent from the other dude's point, and the 2 in between are curved. That's what you said. You said it. What? So they're curved in between those 2 tangents that you make at the individual positions, both
It
at the
was a
top of the ball.
question. Are they curved? Do you have a curved tangent?
Oh,
No.
here we go again.
No.
Arwen, tell Nathan.
What?
Tell Nathan what you're going to do.
Kick him?
What, for being a winning baller? God, I feel some pity for these ballers.
What am I gonna do? What do
I
you
don't know if you're winning. You didn't prove anything. I'd like to know how you proved any curvature.
You just don't
He has
understand.
On the
Hey,
world,
he-
the world I live in only has parallel horizontal lines.
Well, you just don't understand the ball model.
Nathan hasn't made an intelligent point yet.
Yeah, I have. That's not a rebuttal.
You
just don't-
I just don't have a model.
I've just remembered, I've got a defense to all of this as a baller. I can demolish all of this, right? You just don't understand.
Yeah.
There we go. He's transitioned to full baller now.
Go on, Adam. This is a mathematical problem. I'm hoping somebody will concisely take apart the nonsense I've spewed.
I'm with you, Nathan, because aren't concentric circles parallel lines?
Concentric
And planes can be
circles.
curved.
Oh, what if they're concentric within one another? Then are they parallel with one another? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm joining you.
Excellent. That's strengthened my position. So we're still at a curved Earth, right?
Kick him!
Why I'm winning? This is great.
Let me know when you actually get some measurable curvature, and let me know how you got that measurable curvature.
No worries. So I stand at the top of the ball. I'm already on the ball, and I take a tangent from my position. Now, the other guy, as detailed by Bev, he's going to do the same, and he's going to take a tangent. And as detailed by Bev, what are we left with when we measure that on a ball? Well, we're left with a curve. Isn't it obvious?
Intersecting horizontals.
No.
You're presupposing a curve. Where did we prove that curvature?
From the top, both of us have got our own tangent.
Okay.
On the ball.
So, do you have any empirical evidence to back up any of those claims? I guess they were.
Just explained
Prove the
it.
ball first.
I've just explained it. We're both standing on the top of the ball.
No. We want proof, not explanation. Thank you.
Yeah.
It works. What's the problem?
Prove the ball first.
Well, why don't you demonstrate it working by providing empirical evidence for it?
Have you never seen the globe model? All maps are based on it. They wouldn't get around. I'm just being rumpused while I detail that circumnavigation proves the spherical Earth.
Oh, this is fun.
We have a new Johnny Globehead.
Oh, God.
This is great, isn't it? It's only great until people don't actually address your shitty claim. Then it's suddenly terrible.
Still waiting.
Kosho's just put a thing. He's obviously
how you measured this curvature, though.
Kosho's Googled level curves and come up with contour lines as an abruptment for you, or for me. They've done this before.
What?
You just don't like losing. Yeah. You just don't understand. I'm going through a...
Oh.
The 80s technology.
And that's how you prove the Earth is spinning. You just rumpus me and you don't understand. So, yeah.
Would you demonstrate this differential, maybe from a orthographic view, looking at you, as if I was looking at you and whoever else? Would you be able to demonstrate this differential?
Yeah, if you can draw up an orthographic view from both my position with my tangent on the top of the ball, and separately, of course, the other person's tangent where they're on the top of the ball. You could present both of them side by side. No worries.
You're not at different positions on top of the ball.
Exactly! I can't be in two places at once, Adam.
But Nathan, which of the scientific methods are you going to apply to...
Did he really just invoke Muppet Vision?
Hold on, I can't lose this opportunity. You don't understand science, Arwin. I think you better stay out of it.
Are you going to use the scientific method to disprove something, or
you don't understand the scientific method? This is great. I like this.
Enlighten me. Why don't you explain your version?
They are legion.
You wouldn't understand it. You wouldn't understand it, Aaron. Oh, I see why they like it so much.
Called playing room.
The best part of it, right, is that no matter what bullshit I spew, if I've got a couple of other ballers here, as Anthony puts it, holding my willy, they'll agree with me regardless of what nonsense I spew, won't they?
Yeah,
right, Nathan.
Exactly.
Adam, that's right, Nathan.
They're not listening to you. Owen, just be quiet for a minute and listen to Nathan. Start interrupting and let. Oh yeah, you've got to listen carefully.
I had a good point to make, Arwin. I'll make it again now. You don't understand science.
Yeah.
Didn't they make a movie called Free Willy?
Boom boom. But that's gotta be a recipe for disaster, right? If you're just spewing nonsense made up based on scraps of information that you've cobbled together about a model that isn't real, you spew a load of nonsense, and then everyone around you just says, "Yeah, that's really good," and taps you on the back. That's really dangerous, right? You basically left as a complete bonehead as a result of that kind of behaviour.
No, you become a story.
What's funny was I was trying to get you to invoke the curve calculator Instead, you went with the orthographic Muppet vision.
Sorry, I've just got to address this idiot LLB store who doesn't understand optics. His super chat. Yeah, right. Thanks for the super chat. Says, can you factor in both optics and curve drop? You don't understand optics, LLB store. Thanks for the super chat.
Okay, are we done now?
I think so. I've had enough.
Okay, Arwin, go ahead and spring that on Adam since he's here.
What?
He's giving me more work, Arwin. I know what.
Yeah, he is.
What? No, it can be a standalone project. I already said it. This could just be a trailer.
Turn it into a bloody movie.
It's not. Look, it was just 7 seconds, and the eventual version is probably going to be more like 30 seconds. And it shouldn't be. It should just be what it is.
So
And we'll figure out
narration.
what we do with it.
The narration. Oh my god. So the narration is 30 seconds.
I don't know for sure yet. We still have to do the actual narration and then see what I can fit with it.
Yeah, it can only be like 5 seconds or something in the beginning.
Well, the thing that you can get out of that I already gave you, and that was 7 seconds. If you shorten it, it just becomes silly. So if you want to use that, you can use that. But I'm gonna make this short trailer, as it were.
Okay, that's fine. I'll carry on.
Just a quick request for Chocolate, Arwen, and the likes. If they could just temper their enthusiasm for things that you should do. Because as soon as he gets a good idea, he comes and asks me to bloody do it. So I was up to
What? Me? No, I thought you made you were working on.
No, he's indicting me, Arwen.
That's right. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I'm just teasing. But that was a good clip you got yesterday, although the quality was crap, so I had to find another version of it. But we've integrated.
I thought the quality was low. I thought it was pretty good.
No, it was to put it into the thingy. It was too small, the render size for it. So I stole another version. But
all right,
yeah, it was good idea. Have you shared it yet, John, or is it still to be?
I haven't shared it yet because I think we have a little problem with the end. We didn't discuss that.
Well, I was going to say the music plays for like another 10 or 15 seconds, so I could just put that on and then you can fade that out yourself.
When fade it out myself, why don't you just have the music fade inside it? Like the last one, it faded the last time, right?
Yeah, but I can fade it in that program, but it means you can't have the 5 seconds at the end.
So the music is attached to the last 5 seconds. Also, you can't attach those.
Yeah,
it could be a level fade.
What's going on? You talking shop on a live show?
I'm so sorry.
I was waiting for Nathan to say that. I was like, we're straight shop talking, and I think we're still live.
John,
115 people listening to your admin about videos.
Wait a second. Stop rumpusing me. This is your penance for every single time you cut me off with the show transitions.
Huh?
Are you not on form today, Arwin? There's been a lot of and what from you today.
Oh, you're right.
No, I don't know. I'm trying to find some sort of reason to interrupt John and see if he reacts.
I see.
You
just got to be Chocolate.
This is why
you interrupt every time you speak, and there you go.
Yeah, but I can't do it like you.
This is why housekeeping questions is a must.
We haven't even got through any housekeeping questions. How long have we been live? We've been live for about 30 minutes. We've been live. Haven't done a single housekeeping question. We rattle through them.
Can I introduce my own little housekeeping sub-question first?
Yeah, let's go through the housekeeping questions.
No, go on,
Any
Owen.
signs of Earth curvature?
Hold on, 10th. I've just given him permission to give his own little version of a housekeeping question. We'll see how good it is. Go on, Owen.
It's also a housekeeping question. Okay, so any empirical evidence of a moon signal rebound phenomenon?
No.
Didn't you go to the local radio shop?
Didn't you have the burden of proof reversed and insisted that you actually proved this claim, Arwin? Because that was how I thought it was, and I saw that was totally reasonable. Why the hell haven't you gone to the ham radio shop and verified this for yourself? What's your problem?
Oh, wait, is the ball or you again, right?
I took an astronomy class once. Did that work?
No. No, I actually demand a very specific type of setup in order to satisfy my curiosity that there is any kind of phenomenon, because I am open to it. I'm not going to draw any direct conclusions to it, but I like to see whether their claim is actually based on something real or not, whatever they presuppose about it.
Oh, and if you watch Big Bang Theory, they did it. There's your evidence for Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, they did a lot of things. I know. I've seen it. Literally. Yeah.
JPL.
I tried to find back the clip where basically, by the way, Sheldon said that astronomy was pseudoscience. I couldn't find it. But he did talk about the scientific method, though.
Before you segue, you're saying you want proof of the moon bounce or any other celestial bounce via radio waves. Is that
Well, a bounce, I want to see that there is something that happens reflective-wise or somehow when you actually point that radio or whatever they use towards what we see as the moon.
There's two
I
requests.
just want to see if there's something to it. It might be. Who knows?
I'll sum up the two requests that are outstanding, then hopefully it's over to 10th man for a bit of housekeeping. So the outstanding requests so far are any hypothesis-based validation from an astrophysicist. The other is any demonstrated evidence of a reflection when doing these radio bounces. So one's from QE, one's from you. Those are outstanding, correct?
Mm-hmm. Now, mine is any actual astronomer, astrophysicist, or cosmologist with one viable scientific hypothesis in the history of any of those disciplines. Just one. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Over to you, 10th man.
Any signs of Earth curvature?
Not from Zimbabwe.
Not on Earth.
Any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
No,
Nope.
no demonstrated.
Any signs of an axis?
No demonstrated Coriolis deviation in helicopters, drones, or aeroplanes. No. Earth's
Gyroscopes, when spun up, stay perfectly stable. It's a clear sign.
Yeah, you need an axis to have axial rotation. So any signs of an axis?
That's because none of you guys understand the science. That's it.
Oh, thank you for that.
There you go. That's it.
Thank you for that.
Wait a minute, this fiber optic thing got it. This fiber optic gyro picked up curvature. Come on, or not curvature, rotation. Come on. The fiber optic gyro.
The light rotated. Yeah, that's interesting. I know.
How about any scientific evidence for gravity?
Hold on. Go on, Paul. What was this? Fiber optic gyro, what now?
I mean, the fiber optic gyro shows 15 degrees of rotation. Like when you're sitting on the ground and you turn it on, it starts to show a 15-degree deviation in its optics. Come on, that's proof of rotation, right?
Hold on, let's
Light
get to what
is somehow rotating 15 degrees.
Hold on. So you're saying, my understanding, Paul, is that gyroscopes have a fixed frame of reference. Now, this deviation, I don't understand. If it's got a fixed frame of reference, what's deviating? I don't understand.
Oh, you just don't understand reference frames, Nathan.
That's fine.
Come on now.
That's what I'm saying. You're saying that something that is designed by definition to not deviate is showing an apparent deviation. I don't understand what that means. Can you explain it to me? What is this apparent deviation demonstrated in
Well,
a gyro?
that's showing that the Earth is rotating. It's because it's deviating to 15 degrees. It's showing Earth's rotation, Nathan. That's what it is. That's just that. That's it. It's that simple.
Are you shaving?
Are you shaving your face?
No, my brother my brother-in-law is painting or staining our deck. We're painting to stain our deck, and he's out here spraying it. So that's what you're hearing.
You haven't linked the two together. I'm saying the optical gyro is designed to be fixed in its frame of reference. You're saying it deviates, and you're saying that proves Earth spins. You haven't linked those two things together. How does that prove Earth spins?
Well, I guess when I'm sitting on the ground.
All right.
Go ahead. I guess when I'm sitting on the ground, when that thing fires up, I'm sitting on the ground, and it's showing a deviation that I guess at some point maybe the Earth is supposedly moving under the gyroscope. I guess.
I see. So what you're claiming is that you, while sat on the ground, which is rotating beneath the claimed fixed reference of an optical gyro, you are observing it seeming to deviate. It's not. It's in a fixed reference because Earth's rotating underneath that inertial reference frame that the gyro is fixed in. Is that correct, Paul?
I guess you do understand reference frames, Nathan. So yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. No worries. So Earth is spinning underneath the fixed frame of an optical gyro. It would also, therefore, Paul, be spinning underneath a drone, a helicopter, and a plane, or anything that leaves the non-inertial spinning reference frame that you claim to observe this 15-degree deviation in. That would necessitate flight times from, say, Charlotte, North Carolina to LA being in the region of about an hour and a half, rather than 4 to 4.5 hours, because Earth's rotating underneath that frame of the gyro? No. It would have to be demonstrated in other things, including drones, helicopters, and aeroplanes, if it's rotating underneath that optical gyroscope.
But see, only planes would have to account for it north to south in flight, though, Nathan. Come on. You know there's this conservation of momentum that has to be accounted for. So it only would be an issue. You only notice it when you fly north to south, not east to west.
We're not talking about conservation of momentum. We're talking about Coriolis effect.
Have him define the conservation of momentum.
Why? We're not talking about it. We're talking about Coriolis deviation, are we not? Why have we segued away from Coriolis effect into conservation of angular momentum? I don't understand why we've segued. We're detailing a deviation called Coriolis effect, are we not?
How do you even have Coriolis if you're conserving momentum?
Paul, you are describing a not actual deviation demonstrated by the gyroscope, which is in an inertial reference frame, and you're claiming its deviation, apparent or otherwise, is caused by Earth rotating underneath. So we're not describing the retention of any angular velocity. We're detailing a deviation due to two reference frames. Correct?
No, the only thing you have is that one reference frame, the reference frame you're in, Nathan. Come on. You only have that one reference frame. Come on. I thought you understood reference frames. Come on now.
So then you have no Coriolis.
No. The optical gyro that you're claiming demonstrates Coriolis effect is in a fixed frame, and you're claiming to observe an apparent deviation because you're on a separate non-inertial spinning reference frame. That's two. Do you not understand Coriolis, Paul?
Sanic says that you cannot leave the reference frame. Therefore, you don't understand?
You, as the observer of this deviation, will not leave the non-inertial spinning reference frame. And in Paul's example, he didn't. He said he observed a not actual deviation of the gyro because he's on a rotating, claimed to be spinning Earth. That's what he claimed.
Nathan, though, there's a new claim, though, that now objects cannot change reference frames or leave the non-inertial reference frame because you're still looking at it.
The object being observed. Okay, let's unpack that.
Come on.
There's two things. Let's just unpack that. There's two things that you've just described, Chocolate. One is the observation of the not actual deviation. The other is the projectile and its movement. So we'll unpack it by asking you to answer this following question in regards to the object and its traversing of reference frames. If you have a drone on a roundabout and the roundabout is spinning and the drone isn't in flight, it is sitting on the rotating platform, would you agree that that is on a rotating platform? Yes or no? That's the first part. Chocolate.
Yeah, I would agree. So yes.
If you then push up on the remote control, regardless of where you are standing, would you agree that that which we will classify as the projectile, when you push the up stick, is no longer on the spinning platform?
Well, let me help. Let me help. Go ahead, Chuck. I'm sorry.
That would be no.
So
Well,
when it was spinning
just
with
to be
the
clear,
roundabout,
Sorry.
it was on a spinning reference frame, and when it left the roundabout, it was in an inertial reference frame. So first in one, then in the other. Agreed?
I agree, sure.
So the projectile, unless the example starts with the projectile in the inertial reference frame, can indeed traverse different reference frames. Arbitrary designations of frames of reference we assign to what each thing is doing at a given point. In this example, drone on roundabout on the non-inertial spinning reference frame. Drone takes off and is then in the inertial reference frame. 2, not 1.
Wait. So let me clear this up because Zanuck was trying to tell me differently. He was telling me that something on the non-inertial reference frame, even if it goes into the inertial reference frame, is still on the non-inertial reference frame because you're still looking at it.
Well, those are two different things. So my part 1 was to detail the projectile. In this example, a drone. Now, the projectile is not the observer. They are two different things. The observation of the deflection will take place, if there's Coriolis, on a non-inertial spinning reference frame. So back to my drone example. Now we're going to sit on the roundabout, and we're going to have the drone in front of us, spinning with us on the roundabout as one. We're all spinning, drone, roundabout, and you observing this effect that is about to take place. Upon pushing the up stick on the remote control for the drone, it, the projectile, will leave the reference frame you are on. You, however, who is going to observe this not actual deflection, will remain on the spinning reference frame to observe that the drone appears to fly towards you and fly away from you as you rotate underneath. The reason this not actual deflection is described as a not actual force is because the drone is not actually flying towards you and not actually flying away. It's merely hovering above the roundabout. So just to summarise, the projectile will and can in this example and does traverse the two reference frames we are exampling when it takes off from the non-inertial spinning reference frame. You as the observer of this not actual force, of the force of it flying towards you, no, it's not flying towards you, it's hovering. That observer will remain on the non-inertial spinning reference frame to observe this not actual deviation. The effect of the drone flying towards you and flying away, when in reality it's you rotating underneath and the drone remaining in a pretty much fixed position, hovering, not actually moving above the roundabout.
Let me clarify something up, Nathan, if you don't mind. Now, an inertial reference frame would be one of two things. Either something is sitting still and not moving, or moving at a constant, or at a, what's the word? Constant velocity. Is that right? So that would be one of those two options in inertial reference frame.
A frame of reference is just a coordinate system. Now, if the object in this particular frame of reference is not moving, you can classify it as being stationary in that reference frame. That coordinate system, it stays with the same coordinates. Unlike the separate non-inertial reference frame, which is going to be rotating underneath in relation to that reference frame, where the drone in my example is in a fixed coordinate.
Okay, it sounds like you understand, so I'll let you go there. So go ahead, finish up. I think you basically proved that 15 degrees deviation is not proof of rotation, as I can see right now.
Well, if you have 15-degree deviation, because Earth is claimed to rotate under a fixed inertial frame of a gyroscope and demonstrate a not actual deviation, described as being 15-degree Earth rotation underneath the gyro, then Earth rotates under the gyro and also rotates under anything that's not in the non-inertial spinning reference frame that's claimed to be Earth spinning. This is including but not limited to drones, helicopters, aeroplanes, bullets, balls, anything that leaves the non-inertial spinning reference frame of a claimed to be spinning ball Earth. And if that was true as claimed by the gyro or pendulum or bullet or ball, then it would also apply to the plane, drone and helicopter, and the plane would experience Earth rotating underneath, shortening its duration when flying west, or precluding it from ever catching up with the place it's travelling to if travelling east, depending on your latitude, on a claim to be spinning ball Earth that's a sphere. We don't observe this effect. Therefore, Earth is not exhibiting any Coriolis deviation, not giving you proof it spins. Go ahead, whoever that was in Discord.
Could I just chirp in for a second, Nathan?
Sure.
This supposed Coriolis effect that's apparently being demonstrated with the ring laser gyro, I've found out a little bit more information with regards to that. Now, the presupposition is that this change in the ring laser is the thing that's is caused by the Earth rotating underneath. That's what's presupposed. Now, obviously, this is light movement, and outside of the other movements of the Earth within the Copernican model, which it doesn't demonstrate, there is actually some collected data which is even more curious with regards to the ring laser's behavior. And whilst, at approximate sea levels, it does appear to demonstrate this 15 degrees per hour, which is ascribed to Earth rotation. However, on increasing altitude, the rate of rotation in degrees per hour, not speed, because that would increase, but the rate of rotational degrees per hour increases with altitude, which then does not become commensurate and in lockstep with a supposed one rotation in 24 hours.
How have you come to this conclusion? Has this been shown to you?
Yeah.
So the claim that let me get it straight. As you raise a ring laser gyro in altitude, the rotational claim to be deviation of the spinning ball Earth at 15 degrees increases with altitude. Is that correct?
That's my understanding, yeah.
Is this exhibited only in a ring laser gyro, or is this exhibited in any other piece of equipment, gyroscopic or otherwise?
Not, I've not heard of any demonstration gyroscopically.
Can you just explain to me the difference between a mechanical gyroscope and a fibre optic gyroscope, please?
Put simply, a mechanical gyroscope is held there by the motion and it holds itself rigid in free space. A ring laser gyro its causation is unknown. It's attributed to rotation, but like I said, with these results, it's questionable if you can attribute it because it's changing.
What was it built for? What was that artifact built for in the first place?
Built for aircraft. This is the interesting thing with the lock boxes, isn't it? If it is showing that, then that information is known. If the devices output that data, then that information is known. Might be why if they go wrong, you're never allowed to touch them. They just come and swap the whole unit. Honeywell Bull, you know.
So is everybody okay now with the claim that the gyro is making of a Coriolis effect, and how that would have to translate into other items, projectiles, objects, as opposed to you viewing it. Paul, you're kind of rumpusing me. Is everyone clear with how that deviation would necessitate other items that leave the non-inertial claim to be spinning ball Earth, showing a deviation that they don't show in reality? Is everyone clear with that now?
Oh, been clear with that.
Yeah, I'm done being Johnny Globehead. I'm done. I was gonna want to think about something Adam said. First thought I had was about that is I wonder if they built that 15-degree deviation into the gyro itself somehow. But I don't know. I have no proof. It's just speculation.
I tried to lead Adam, he didn't take the bait. I think he knew what I was doing. He also mentioned which gyro you convoluted the two gyros. I said fiber optic, you said ring laser.
Yeah, I think the specific one, mine's a little vague on that. I do tend to get a mix up, but it's the one that's been tested, whichever model that is, mate. I'm not sure now which.
Fiber optic was
Thank
the
you.
FE cores gyro that they utilised, as far as I'm understanding it. It's not a ring laser, it's a fiber optic.
Fiber optic. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Alrighty then. Any scientific evidence for gravity?
Scientific evidence of what?
Scientific evidence of what?
Which of the two gravities you're talking about?
Take your pick, don't mind.
Any of them.
If I concluded that question by saying there is no scientific evidence of gravity, would that answer your question, SX?
Well, yeah, it does. I don't want to say apples falling from the tree, you know? I mean, that's...
Are you at work? You in the orchard? Did apples falling from a tree?
I'm driving, sorry.
I don't see the connection. Are you just talking to your boss about work or something?
No. I was saying that there is. No, I'm driving. You know, I'm a truck driver.
With apples? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out what the apple falling from a tree example was about. I don't understand. I'm playing dumb deliberately, by the way.
I'm going to use some global or bottle logic. We have differential pressure, Nathan. That's proof of gravity. So pretty much, because gravity is what's causing the differential pressure, the weight of the air. Come on now.
Where did that air come from in the first place?
Pressure. Where did that pressure come from in the first place?
That's the new one they're giving you, right?
Well, that's how they're saying it's the weight of the air that's keeping the air and it's causing differential pressure. So obviously gravity is the cause of that. So there you go.
Yeah, they superimpose weight onto gas, which is expanding in all directions, attribute a downward force that they presuppose of gravity, when in reality, gravity is not a force, it's the bending of a concept, the conceptual medium known as space-time, giving rise to a non-force force that you can think of as a force but isn't actually a force called gravity, which absolutely in no way defies gas law. So this assertion that the weight of the air above is pressing down on the weight below when gas is an inhomogeneous anisotropic mixture is ludicrous. Moving on.
Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the center of a presupposed spherical Earth?
No.
No.
Well, presuppose, I mean, it doesn't actually exist. So, yeah, no.
All right. Any evidence for the distance of the sun?
No.
Not a chance.
It cannot be measured. There's not.
We can't even figure
Doesn't matter
out the angles.
Doesn't matter how many. It doesn't matter how many triangles you make in the ground on the. You cannot measure it. That's a fact.
Right.
What's the sun?
Light in the sky.
Who asked that? Excellent question. Who asked that?
Yeah, that was me.
Matthias, excellent question. What's the sun? I have absolutely no idea.
Any evidence of the radius?
How about spectroscopy?
Spectroscopy.
Well, I was going to bring that up. It's been told to me because of spectroscopy, we can know the material makeup of the sun. And we actually discovered helium because of the process. Of course, Ray decides to do this. We discovered helium because of spectroscopy of the sun.
Now spectroscopy.
Spectroscopy.
I don't know how to say it. I'll admit it.
No, you said it correctly. Hold on. Can't let that slide. No, you did actually say it correctly. Spectroscopy. But we're saying spectroscopy and all the other nonsense mispronunciations of spectroscopy, which are given to us by Globeheads, Paul. You did actually say it correctly.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So spectroscopy tells us the makeup of the sun. It's got helium in it. So there you go. Go for it.
Clear as crystal. No.
Well, please go on. I mean, tell us about your spectroscopy acumen.
Well, that's what I've been told. See, I'm actually regurgitating what's been told to me, so I don't know much about it. So I really can't make a claim about it. But they've been told that if we looked at the sun through spectroscopy, we actually discovered there's helium up there, and that somehow we discovered helium through that process.
Yeah, I heard you the first time. Okay, let's see if there's any spectroscopy experts in Discordia or on the panel here.
I'm not an
Anyone
expert, but I'll have a damn good look at it for you.
I'll have a damn good look.
Spectroscopy experts in Discordia. Hello, essays.
How are you gonna look at Spicky?
Danny T is supposed to be an expert. He was the one telling me about all this yesterday.
Is Danny T in Discordia?
Doesn't look like it.
He's part of the ones that are boycotting or something like that. I don't. Even if he was here, he wouldn't take, I guess.
Was that the end?
Feelings.
They're boycotting us.
No arguments, just feelings.
Did we get to the end of the housekeeping questions? Was that all of them?
No.
Feel
Any
free.
evidence of the radius of the Earth, the R value?
No.
Okay, last one. Any evidence that you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container to press upon?
No. That would be a violation of a natural law. Several natural laws.
Verdict, the globe is dead.
Are you sure, though? Because apparently these guys think that entropy doesn't exist, except it's only in an isolated system.
Yeah. Having entropy described by way of an isolated system which does not exist in nature is a simplification to describe how gas law is applicable without convoluting it and making it nice and simple for people to understand. This is, however, a natural law, otherwise known as scientific law. Being described by way of isolated system doesn't suddenly mean it doesn't apply anywhere. There'd be no point in having this natural law if it didn't apply. And saying that the application of an isolated system is akin to saying gas law doesn't apply because they describe it with ideal gas. There are no ideal gases and there are no isolated systems. It doesn't mean these natural laws don't apply. Given that is probably the most elongated housekeeping session we've ever done, at the 58-minute mark, we're going to round out and say, if you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley 1980 channel premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you're watching this live on Nathan Oakley, this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who did tune in live on Nathan Oakley for smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. And of course, a massive thank you to all of today's debating panel for making this live show possible. Stay tuned if you're watching on Nathan Oakley 1980. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!